I was recording for a train. There's like 300 trains a day that go by and shake my building. My studio is kind of perched. I always feel like I'm in a treehouse because one whole side is all windows. Then the train tracks are just there. It's so close that I can actually see them sitting in their seats on the train. It's fantastic chi, it's great energy, but it's a lot of noise. I decided when I was 16 years old that I was going to be an artist and I was going to move to New York and be an artist. I think from the outside people have this idea that the life of an artist is all about creativity and it's all about moving and you're making things all the time and all these new ideas. There is that, but then there's also gathering thoughts based off of the work I've already done and trying to figure out where I want to go next. You know, there's also a huge part of my day that I spend in my kitchen heating and reheating tea and coffee. So much of my work is based on these kind of intricate narratives that never reveal themselves. And all of the stories come from little snippets of information, stories my friends have told me, a lot of stories from family members. And basically I just take one image or one story and I start there. I do this drawing exercise where you draw the same image over and over and over again. I do somewhere between 50 and 100 5-minute drawings of the same image or based on the same idea. And what happens when you are forced to just spend 5 minutes from start to finish on one idea is that other things start to come in. It's kind of this meditative process, but anyone who meditates can tell you that you cannot stop the thoughts from drifting in and drifting out. And so all of that gets incorporated into the drawings. The series that I'm working on now actually started with a photo of my mother and my father when they were very young. My mother was in a beauty pageant and she won a beauty pageant. One of the things that really fascinated me about this image is just the idea of the crown. That photo really is the basis for this new series, which is called the Coronation. Which has a lot to do with the idea of the symbol of the crown, which is a symbol of royalty, but more so, the crown is a symbol of power. And so I'm really interested with doing work that kind of plays with this idea of power, and who gets to wear that crown and who has access to that power and who doesn't. And so these new drawings are really about that, and they really did just come from this one image from my past. You know, my family's past. I think it's really difficult for most artists to explain in words what is essentially, it's a visual, and for me, it's a spiritual experience. I think anyone who's worked for any amount of time knows that there's some type of indescribable thing that happens when you're really into a piece and you're really working, where it starts to make itself. It's almost like some type of, collaborative process between you and whoever it is that you believe in. So much of my day is spent trying to get to that place where there's this kind of easy flow of energy and the easy output, because every day is different and every piece is different. Some series just, I finished an entire series of work in a day and I've spent 3 weeks struggling over 10 drawings. The thing that keeps me going, the thing that keeps me creating is the fact that, in my studio when I'm working, whatever I'm creating, that's my world.